Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Heart is beating in my head, feeling numb with every breath, smoking fire all around. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. I said time is running out. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Over and we all fall down. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. We all fall down. Finger on the trigger, I said time is running out. Finger on the trigger, finger on the trigger. Over and we all fall down.
Alright guys, I appreciate you watching if you made it through, or if you just skipped to the end to see what it looks like. Essentially this is the final product, 300 Blackout build, nothing too crazy. Got the pistol brace on the back, 10.5-inch barrel. So this is pretty much its final configuration. I'm sure we'll go through some changes as I fire it, move things around, take things off, add new things. I will say this Surefire SOCOM brake is going away. It is fantastic. It works great, reduces all the recoil, but I'm not running a Surefire suppressor. I went with Yankee Hill, so I'm waiting for that Form 4 to come back. Should be pretty soon, hopefully with the current wait times. But I think I covered this already, but this is a Palmetto State Armory lower receiver, so nothing crazy, nothing super fancy. It is the Trump 47. You can see the serial number starts with landslide right there. So I thought it was just a funny piece. They're really cheap. They had limited stock, so I just picked one up, so it wasn't too bad. Right here is a Strike Industries ambidextrous safety. So I have never used one. We'll figure out if I'm going to like it or not. It flips really well. However you want to position your thumb, you can push up, down, and then obviously the same thing on the other side. This is a Ballistics Advantage upper receiver. It works great. I have no complaints with it. I have put this upper on a different pistol build just to test it out. So it does work. It works very well. This is just a big latch. It's essentially a mil-spec charging handle, but it just has a larger latch right here. Give you something more to grab onto. It is pretty nice, and this is a Guesley handguard. So these are the Troy Industries flip-up battle sights, front, rear. It's not actually touching, it's touching the rubber cap right there, but if I bring that down and then bring it back up, there is a gap in there you can see, so it's not going to smack the actual optic or anything like that, ruin it. You can co-witness. See if I can get that to show in there. But yeah, so makes pretty nice. That way you don't have to worry about actually moving that red dot if you for some reason it stops working, you just flip those up, and you can use those rear backup sights. So pretty nice. So I've seen some people run some optics, and then they have backup sights, and then they go to put them up, and either the red dot's too far back, or their LPVO, whatever they're running, is just too far back. They can't even engage those backup sights, or if they can, it's just completely blocked, right? There's no way for them to look through, so it's essentially useless, or you have to take the time to take that optic off. This is a Strike Industries hand stop, barricade stop, whatever you want to call it. I think they're pretty convenient. And I do have these little rubber M-lock grips on there, just kind of fill in some of it. I think it looks more aesthetically pleasing. It also gives your hands a little more grip instead of this smooth surface. This is a Cloud Defense pressure pad holder. Sits right in. Yeah, and then the cheap Amazon light that's on there, right? So essentially that's just a cheap knockoff of a Streamlight, which it does work really well. Let me take this off. So you can see it. It looks just like a Streamlight. It's, you know, it's actually really hard to tell. I'm sure if you've had Streamlights for a while, you've used them, you're used to them, you're going to instantly notice. But at first glance, it does pass the sniff test, right? It is fairly bright. There's nothing too special about it. But for $30, you really can't beat it. I'm just going to throw this back on a stand. That's just cheap 3D printing stand. That way I can move it around, do whatever I want. But yep, back here. So SPA3 pistol brace. Nothing too special. They've been around forever. Quick detached mount for sling. And there's also one up here in the Guesley upper. I don't know if I'll really run one. I'm sure I will. Just not sure what type. Generally, I like to have the slings out a little bit further, so I may move this back and add a QD mount. But nothing too pressing. Up top is the Spark 2 Vortex Red Dot. You can pick these up fairly cheap. I believe this one I got on sale for right around $99. That seems to be pretty common. 2 large buttons right here to adjust the brightness. Let's see if I can get that turned on. I don't know if you guys will be able to see through it. There we go. So pretty easy. Slap that on, and then you just hold the buttons down, power it off. Whatever, you guys get the deal. You gotta hold both of them down. It's a little harder when I'm sitting behind the camera trying to do this. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Like I said, it is a budget build. I just have this on here for some cable management. I'll probably try and add another one on this side to pull that in some. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, if you want to see something else, or you guys want to see some test videos of this firing, I can get out to the range and post a few of those. But if you guys got anything, please leave it down in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, please. Obviously, I'm a pretty new channel, pretty small. I'm not looking to make big money off this, but it is nice when people are at least watching the content and getting some sort of enjoyment out there, right? Whether if it's just 10 people that like the video, at least, you know, that's 10 people that it made their day, they like it. Maybe it helped them out, maybe it didn't. But that's the best part about YouTube. You know, there's plenty of things out there. So if you guys can, that'd be great. If not, totally understand. But oh yeah, and last thing, this is the Odin Works bolt carrier group. Most of these parts, they are spare parts I've had laying around, so they're all used pretty much. Everything that I used in the lower receiver, the parts kits, they were just spares that I had sitting around in this container right over here. Whenever I get spare parts, I just kind of throw them in little baggies and drop them in the bucket. So yeah, pretty cool. It saves a lot of money. You never know what you'll be able to build with it later on. But you guys have a good one, and as always, like, comment, subscribe.